right before I went live, my nose started running. Why? Why every time? My nose starts to run, I start to cough, I burp. It's always something. Always something. My body was not meant to live stream. Hi guys, I'm Debbie. Welcome to my channel. Hey Judy, hey Jill, hey all my lurkers out there. My audio is low? I don't know why. I'm talking pretty loud. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. I hope everybody had a great lunch. I had ravioli and hey Jennifer. I had ravioli and I wondered why it was still in the freezer. I thought, why didn't Travis eat this? Because I was like, ooh, it's still in there. He hasn't eaten it yet. It had spinach in it. That's why. I was like, oh, yay. It was good, too. And I had grilled. Well, it wasn't grilled. It was air fried, but already cooked, but then air fried broccoli and cauliflower. So I had a very healthy lunch. I had lean cuisine, spinach and ricotta ravioli, and broccoli and cauliflower in the air fryer. So I behaved. And water. I didn't even have Diet Pepsi today. I was a very good girl. Now let's see if it worked and I lost any weight today. So they are back.
Statement.
They are outside. Okay. The present to the jury, and they just started. Carrie, hey, am I loud? That's because I never know. Half the time, they say they can't hear me. Oh, okay. Well, why did you do that, Jennifer? Ooh, Italian sandwiches. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. And, oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like my sugar. That is one thing. I like my sugar. My cousin, I had the gastric sleeve when I had my weight loss surgery. And I've always regretted not having the full-blown gastric bypass surgery because I'm losing it very slow. Like, I mean, I had the surgery 10 years ago. Like, I should have already lost all the weight. And then I had to go back to the doctor and get on medication to help with my appetite. My cousin had the gastric bypass and she's skinny now. But she can't eat sugar. It makes her sick. So I'm glad I didn't have that because I like my sugar. Like, you know, Travis just had a birthday. We had birthday cake. We went to the movies. I had movie candy, you know. I like my sugar, but I don't eat sugar every day. So, yeah, you do. You do. You feel bad when you eat too much sugar. You do. Yeah, sugar's not good. It's not. But I still want to have it occasionally. And when you have a gastric bypass, they reroute everything in your body and your body can't handle it anymore. And that's part of why you lose all that weight. And I'll be honest, I knew what I was getting into or not getting into when I had my weight loss surgery. I like sugar. So we don't know what's fixing to happen because the defense has rested. You don't know if they're going to do a rebuttal or if they're going to go right to the charging conference. If we're going to have closing arguments, we have no
We
idea.
are on the record outside the presence of the jury. We have counsel and Ms. Cooper here. We're here to make a record on jury instructions. I provided counsel with a proposed set of jury instructions over the noon hour, and after some informal discussions regarding jury instructions. So at this point, I guess we'll start with the state. Does the state have any record they wish to make with respect to the jury instructions? And I've got 33 of them on 15 pages, and then a form of verdict.
Would ask only that the verdict form be changed to guilty of the offense of murder in the first degree as the first form of verdict 1, rather than the way the court has rearranged it.
So just an objection to the form of verdict, no other change to the statement?
That's correct.
To the jury instructions? Okay. And I guess on the behalf of Ms. Cooper, Ms. Watt?
I have no objection to the instructions as they are.
Okay. All right. I mean, other than you just prefer a different order, is there any legal basis that you can provide me, or just simply a preference on the state's end?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to leave it as is. So any further record? Well, I guess on the record, just so I know what we're doing, we have the jury back here. Does the state have rebuttal witnesses to call?
We do.
Okay. Then, once the jury's ready, we'll start with that.
Oh, Jennifer, that would be great. Yeah, StreamYard likes to mess with my volume. Sometimes it's StreamYard and it's not. And this mic, it's a good brand, but I guess it's the lower end of the brand. And the instructions were not good. And so I never know. There's no way to know volume-wise if I'm good or bad, or there's a light. And it's blue or green or red. And red means muted. But it'll turn red if I'm too loud, too. So, I don't know. It's such a weird mic. I sound better than my old videos, so go back and listen to some of my original videos, and the sound is awful compared to the ones with the mic. You can definitely tell a difference. But my live streams, my video, is sometimes the audio will go in and out, and it's just the StreamYard garbage. Well, I have tried, well, no, not Ozempic. I was going to say I've tried to get on Ozempic twice. First time it was Ozempic, second time it was Zepbound, which is the same type of medicine. Both over $500 a month. Can't afford it. I cannot afford $500 a month for a medication. That's ridiculous. Well, StreamYard is usually being a diva, so. Yeah, and that same cousin and I are going to Mickey's Not So Very Scary Halloween party that you go trick-or-treating at. It's the only place in the world you can trick-or-treat as an adult. It's so much fun. But she's taking her candy home to her husband. I was hoping she'd give it to me. But I'm not gonna eat. And last time we went, I started eating my candy right away. This time, I'm not gonna eat it. I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna put it in the the candy jar that Jill made for me, and I'm just going to eat a little at a time.
All right, go ahead and have a seat, everyone.
Very little at a time. Yeah, I know. I've heard. And so I'm kind of glad I couldn't afford them. I'm afraid of them. I was very afraid.
All right, welcome back from your lunch break, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the record then. We have our jurors, counsel, and parties
Well,
present.
my doctor wanted me on it for my
And
diabetes.
right before lunch, our lunch break, the defense had rested. At this point, does the state have any rebuttal witnesses to call?
The state recalls Tiffany Lord.
Tiffany Lord again? Um, they were going to put me on the Ozempic because of my diabetes, but since I've lost the 70 pounds, I am now pre-diabetic, which makes I feel like I have something on my tooth, which is probably spinach, but I don't see any spinach. So I apologize if I have spinach in my teeth. um they were going to give it to me for my diabetes, but I am no longer technically no longer diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic cuz my A1C, which is the average of um it's the average of my blood sugars for a 3-month period. It's what your A1C is. And that has to be done in the doctor's office. They put it in a machine and it figures it out. Um, and it was 5.9, which I don't know what the numbers mean. Like how they, I think it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm a nurse and I don't understand it. Um, but 5.9 is um, pre diabetic. So then my weight loss doctor wanted to put me on one. They're called GLPs. Basically, they all work the same way. So he wanted to put me on Zepbound. And he said, "Oh, well, we can do it because you're diabetic." He said, "What was your A1C?" And I said 5.9. And he said, "Your A1C is too low now. It won't, your insurance won't pay for it." So then I did a sleep study because I have sleep apnea. So I did a sleep study, and I have it showed that I had sleep apnea, which we knew it would. So then my insurance would pay for the Zepbound. And just like the Ozempic, when I went to get it, it was $500. And I was like, nope, I can't afford it. And like I said, I was kind of glad because I did hear that it was dangerous. And I think one lady died. She was taking Ozempic because she wanted to get into a smaller size dress for her daughter's wedding, and she ended up dying. So, well, my blood sugar's not the problem now. It's my weight. I need to get the rest of this weight off. I'm stuck. I've been stuck since October of last year. So I lost 50 pounds in probably, I don't know, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Like a 6 months period, I dropped 50 pounds. And now I'm stuck. And it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I have PCOS. I've got so much stuff wrong with me too, Carrie. So much. And so I just that's why I want to get the weight off. So the other stuff will not, especially as I get older. Because if I can get some of the weight off, then the other stuff will get better or not be so bad as I get older. Yay! 12 pounds is good. 12 pounds is good. And maintaining is good too. I mean, the fact that I haven't gained it back, you know, And they're proud of me for that. When I go to my weight loss doctor, like they're not saying anything bad about the fact that I've maintained it for so long. So, because let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I've maintained for 9 months. I've never done that before, because usually when I get to the point that I quit losing, then I start eating crap again and gaining it all back. So, oh, wow. Oh, Carrie, I'm so sorry. So yes, I am wearing a costume. I decided what I'm going to do is I have a little red skirt. I'm going to cut out white felt polka dots and glue it on and wear a black shirt and black tights and Minnie Mouse ears and be Minnie Mouse. So that way, all I have to buy is Minnie Mouse ears, which are $10 on Amazon, instead of spending $40 on a costume. And that way I will have more spending money while I'm in the park instead of spending a bunch of money on my costume, because I'm going to have to I'm going to have to pay $65 on a scooter to rent a scooter. And I got to thinking about that. When I get my annual pass, it's going to be cheaper to buy a scooter, because if I have to pay $65, if I go to Disney 10 times in a year, I probably won't go that much. But just as an example, if I go 10 times a year, that's $650 just to rent a scooter, and you can get a scooter for $500. So it's gonna be time to buy a scooter soon. Okay, enough chit chat. Let's get back to this train wreck.
For rebuttal.
Wow. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Ms. Lord. Go ahead and have a seat. Now I'm going to go ahead and swear you in again. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll be giving today will be the truth?
I do.
Okay. And we've already got your name, so I don't know that we need that again, your spelling. So with that, Mr. Kodiaga, you may begin your questioning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You testified before to being able to retrieve some messages on the night or the early morning hours that Mr. Cooper was killed. Messages between the
Is this the one that had all the messages? Is this the one? Oh, are we fixing to hear messages again?
defendant, Karina Cooper, and Houston Dinker.
Yes.
Judge, if you may have the monitor, would like to show what's been admitted as defense B.
Yeah, sometimes fluid is worse than fat because it can
The
affect
testimony,
your breathing, and
you stated that
it's
you are
just
able
bad.
to retrieve
You swell
messages
up.
ending
Ugh, awful.
with go at 3:32:58. Can you see that?
Yes.
But testimony from the
Oh,
defendant, where she claims that this message of the go was incomplete, and that after this go, she does text to as a follow-up message, and then period, and then sends another message which says sleep. On your review of these records, did you find that the message to and sleep following the sleep following the message to was sent by this phone at this time?
No, I did not locate any evidence supporting that.
And when you say you did not locate any evidence supporting that, what does that mean?
Yeah, so in review of the Snapchat bio app intents, if you go down to the same date and time stamp there that the message go was sent, on June 18th, 2021 at 3:32:58. There's no messages directly following that.
So no messages that were deleted or disappeared at that time. Following that, it's just go as the last message at that time.
Correct.
And so what you're saying is what she's testified to sleep, that's not possible from these records.
Correct.
And the next time, what's the next message that you see this defendant text Houston Dinker?
Yeah, so in review of those records, I did locate one message that was at 4:21 that did not parse what the message was, but there was something sent to him at that time.
So at 4:21 is the next message sent to him, whereby the response to that 4:21 message is, yep, just woke up.
Yes.
And earlier on, there'd been conversation in this chat, in this link of send me something when I leave your house to open when I get to my house.
Yes.
I have no further questions for this witness.
Cross-examination?
What's the content of the message at 4:21?
I cannot say. Like I said, there's no content there. It just shows the date and timestamp that there was a message sent.
So why do we have content for the messages leading up to it, but we don't have the content for that one?
I can't explain that.
You would agree that obviously there were other messages sent before the ones that we're seeing here because of the biomap intents. We know that there were more messages.
I'm going to
between the two.
object to be on the scope at this point.
Overruled, you can answer.
Prior to, yes.
And we can't answer why sometimes the records are incomplete because it's proprietary information by Snapchat.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions.
Redirect?
Again, just to clarify, the go to sleep, that is not possible from the records that you're having.
In my expert opinion, that is not possible, correct?
All we have is go. The question.
Ms. Watt, anything further?
Do you know for a fact, I mean, is it ever possible with a biome app intent that a message can be sent but not go through immediately?
If the contact is deleted, it is possible on their end. So if Houston were to delete it, it could have something sent, but the biome app intents would still show that something was being sent.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
And here, the biomap does not show that something is being sent, correct?
Correct.
No further question.
Right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Any further rebuttal from the state?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
It's weird to me, too.
All right.
Okay, I take it back. That was a good rebuttal. I couldn't figure out what they
So,
would rebut, but that's
council just
good.
want to approach just real quick to talk about the schedule.
Yeah, it does feel weird. You know, Alan Jackson said that Liza Little, who never says an unkind word to anybody, the first time they were in Canoni's court, she addressed the judge sitting down, because that's the way they do it in California. And that Bev said, "Miss Little, we stand in Massachusetts." And they said he hated that. Like, she was so rude. It was like from the get-go, she hated them. And the thing about, what was it? Oh, the thing about the FBI hiring ARCA. He said any other judge ever that he'd ever been in front of would have allowed that.
At this point, all the evidence is in. So what we're going to do is the attorneys we need to finalize the jury instructions, and attorneys need a little bit of time to finalize their closing arguments. So we're going to take roughly a half an hour break at this point, and then we will come back and we'll start with jury instructions, and then we'll proceed to closing arguments from the attorneys. Again, case hasn't been submitted to you, so same admonition applies. Keep an open mind. Don't talk about this case with anybody or let anybody talk to you about it. Don't do any type of research, and avoid any and all media accounts. And so, again, roughly half an hour from now, be ready to go, and we'll bring you back in as soon as we're ready. Okay? All right. Thank you very much.
Yay, charging conference. Are we going to get to watch the charging conference? I guess not. Yeah, that interview that Alan Jackson did with Turtle Boy, that was quite an interview. That was cryptic, to say the least. Hey dude, do you want to say hi? He looked at me like, really? Do I have to? I know you don't like it when I hold you. He said, let's see, what did he say? He said, well, Turtle Boy asked him if he was going to be her lawyer again, and he said he is her lawyer. He will always be her lawyer. And he said, not if, but when the next thing happens. But he didn't go into detail about anything. There were some questions. You guys know my brain doesn't work right anymore. The chemo has screwed up my short-term memory. So, I don't remember stuff unless I write it down anymore, and I didn't write it down because I took notes when I watched Peter's stuff during the trial that I wanted to tell you guys, but I didn't write it down. Judy probably remembers more than I did. There was a couple of questions that Turboy asked him that he said he would leave that to another format to answer. So, like, there's going to be something else coming up that he's going to answer those questions. And what were they about, though? I don't remember what they were about. Judy, do you remember what that was? Yeah, yeah. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. Yeah. I don't understand why people use those words. They don't need, it's not necessary. But, um, yeah, and like Alan was gonna censor himself, and then Turtle Boy, who cusses like a sailor, was like, go ahead and say it. You can say it. Go ahead and say it. Yeah, there was. He asked him, what do you think happened to John? And he's like, I'm not going to say that now. There was one involving a person, and I don't remember which person it was. And he said, I'll leave that for another format, I think was the word. Was it format? I don't remember. Forum. Okay, forum. Yeah, I think he was talking about the civil suit too. He's not a. Does he take civil cases too? Is he just criminal or does he do civil? I don't know if he's going to be her civil lawyer for that lawsuit, but that may have been why he was looking at the house. Um, have you guys seen that video? That's what we should do. We should watch that video, not the little video. It's like 5 minutes long. Wait, there are two different versions of it? Oh. Oh, there's a long one and a short one. Okay. I don't think they will.
Inside that room is some floor. Or is that? Is it? Let me look. Basically, every single part of this part of the basement, of this part of the house, the flooring's been taken up. I mean, all of this, it's just hodgepodge, right? It just looks like it was thrown down. Something, the actual floor was ripped up, and this is just a hodgepodge of plywood. All the way through here.
Yep.
Yeah, the entire floor was ripped out. And then this goes into a storage area that it looked like this area did not have flooring in it to begin with, but all this is relatively, it looks to be relatively recent plywood. Are you getting enough light to actually get this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. The point is, it's never been sampled.
Yeah.
Tell me, what does that look like? What does that look like to y'all? I know Bones would say reddish material, reddish stain, reddish stain.
Okay.
Okay. No. Okay, will that door open?
Reddish
Welcome, take a look at this.
material. Yeah, I turned it off after the interview.
This is a bulkhead door. Look at that.
Yeah.
Directly into the backyard. Yeah. Yeah. Get an establishing shot from over there. And I'll get out of the picture.
This guy's been used in a while.
Okay. I don't think we need to go up and pull the bulkhead up, but.
Okay. You gotta get rid of it. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, apparent reddish brown
One
material.
finger. I mean, there's
But
nothing
it
to
wasn't
open that.
tested.
And look at that. There's the door.
Yeah.
Directly to the basement. This is. I'm gonna pace it off. Let's say we come up from here.
Okay.
I don't know why he felt the need to pace it off, but
This is the door that we opened earlier. Right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 paces. And look where it goes.
it doesn't
straight
make it
shot.
very.
Open this door.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
The only thing
Right there.
I'm thinking about how deep was the snow. Then again, it was
It was a
fluffy.
dusting.
Yeah,
It was a
Just
dusting.
enough to track a cat,
I
remember?
mean, it's, what, 6 inches? This door opens on 6 inches of
Plus,
snow.
they're pretty motivated and they're pretty strong and they're pretty quick.
And look at this.
Just enough
1,
to track
2,
a cat.
3,
That
4,
door will open over that much of snow. Oh, maybe. Maybe because of the steps logged on the phone.
24 paces.
Yeah.
And there's the flagpole.
I like the theory.
And look at the
Straight
cover.
out that back
Look
door.
at the cover.
That back gate door is that flagpole.
You know, it's like this, how come if everybody's leaving the party, nobody sees them out there?
It's because he wasn't out there yet.
Yeah.
He wasn't out there yet. Straight shot. I have no idea. Straight shot right from the basement to the back of this door, right there. Like a crow flies. Did you get all the shots you need?
It did, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's a wrap.
What was on that cement?
So there you go. And that was after the trial. That was that was after she was found not guilty. He's still investigating. I didn't know that lawyers did that kind of stuff. I figured, I mean, I know he's a good lawyer. I know he's a good person, but I figured he would just, over and done, But I guess not. But yeah, you need to watch the interview. I mean, he says a lot about their strategy and stuff too. He said that they decided right off the bat that if the prosecution wasn't going to call Proctor and Higgins, that they weren't going to call Proctor and Higgins. Oh, another thing he said that I wish I had known, because they removed the bulkhead doors. I didn't know that either.
Go ahead and stand up. It is your opportunity to make a statement to the court. Anything that you'd like to say before your sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to say I'm sorry for the situation.
What in the heck? Oh. I was like, what is going on? I forgot to close the other window. He had his beard in the interview with Turtle Boy. I didn't notice in that, but he has his beard. He still has his beard. He said that every interview that Karen did was absolutely planned. Everything she said and every single clip that Hank played during the trial was okay with them. They wanted everybody to hear what she had to say. That was their way of putting her on the witness stand without her being cross-examined. And I was just, I was just like, oh my God, I wish I had known that before the trial because I was a nervous wreck. Every time you played one of those videos, I was a nervous wreck. I really was. Because I really thought those videos were going to bring her down. It scared me to death. I don't know, Jennifer. I thought it was done after the trial, but I guess I could be wrong. I assumed it was after the trial, but I don't know. I just assumed. But yeah, the video clips like in the thing on, what's it on? Max? That documentary, they're in one of the SUVs and she's looking at her phone and she's like, Elle wants to do a spread on me. Should I do it? And AJ goes, damn straight you should do it. Or hell yeah, you should. Something he cusses. I don't like to cuss, but he cussed. He said either damn or hell. Yeah, you should do it. And I'm thinking, no, you shouldn't.
All right, go ahead and
do
have
it.
a seat,
What
everyone.
are you telling her to do it for? And in some of those, he was sitting right next to her.
All right, we are back on the record with our
He planned it
jurors,
that way.
counsel, and parties present. So, ladies and gentlemen, disregard what I told you right before the break about how we're going to proceed. Nobody's fault for this except possibly mine. I jumped the gun a little bit. I think the defendant has some surrebuttal evidence that they would like to offer. It's, you know, when people present rebuttal evidence or surrebuttal evidence, it's not always clear what's going to happen. And so, you know, people sometimes need a little time to prepare, both the state and the defendant, when that happens. So we're not going to be in a position to proceed with that until tomorrow morning, okay, at 9 o'clock. So I anticipate that we will be done with surrebuttal and any additional rebuttal the state may have fairly quickly tomorrow morning, and then we will proceed with jury instructions and opening statements. So apologize for the confusion. Like I said, that's my fault. I'll take the blame for that. We're going to let you go then for today and ask that you be ready to go at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And again, remind you of the admonition. Keep an open mind. Don't do any type of research or investigation. Avoid any and all media accounts. Don't speak to anybody about the case or let anybody speak to you. And with that, we will see you tomorrow morning, and have a good night, everybody.
So they're not doing charging conference now either? They're doing nothing? They started to do somewhat of a charging conference. And then they stopped.
So, on the record, outside the presence of the jury, just state or defendant have any additional record they wish to make at this point?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right, so what I expect will happen then is, Ms. Watt, Mr. Hawbaker, you'll get your surrebuttal evidence in order. I understand one part of it consists of a possible exhibit. Expect you to review that with the state. And ahead of time, since we all know, or at least you all know, I don't, what it may consist of, and then you discuss that so that they then can be prepared possibly to decide if they need any additional, I don't know what you even call a rebuttal to a surrebuttal, but
Oh my
if they want to
God.
present any evidence in response. So we can proceed expeditiously tomorrow morning.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right? All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Judge.
So we're gonna have Sir rebuttal and maybe rebuttal for the Sir rebuttal? Is that even a thing? Good gravy, Marie. Okay, well, I guess we get the afternoon off. I was so worried about this trial because it's in the other time zone. And I thought, I'm going to be sitting here every night till 6, and I'm going to have to cook dinner, and I'm going to have to work around a crazy schedule. And every day they have finished early. Man. So, yeah, apparently the whole Karen Reed saga um, is going to keep giving us little presents, just like the Boone case did for a while. There is a video somewhere where AJ is on the lawn and the investigator is in the Albert's bedroom. AJ yells up from the flagpole, could clearly hear and understand what he was saying. They didn't have their sirens on because it was so early in the morning, but those engines are loud. And Karen was screaming. Wind is loud, but I don't think it's so loud that it's going to run out engines and someone screaming as loud as she was. Because we could hear her, when Jen was on with 911, we could hear her screaming in the background. So there's no way they didn't hear something. And let's play devil's advocate and say they didn't hear anything. When Jen went up there and woke them up, they should have come down then. At least to look like decent people that are concerned about their friend that's found dead in the lawn. I mean, come on. So, most of the troopers involved have been fired or reassigned. I wonder what is this gonna do to the other cases? Because, well, we still have Brian Walsh, and I don't know anything about the Brian Walsh case other than that he supposedly unalived his wife, and I don't know. I have no idea if he did it or not. I don't know if this is another frame up by the incompetent police or what. I don't know if it's just suspect because of the same cops were involved in the case. I don't know anything. And I know about the Sandra Birchmore case. Are they going to charge that guy with it, Judy? Or is it being hush hushed or what? Do you know? Yeah, I'm talking about the guy. I'm talking about not Brian Higgins. Brian Albert not coming out of his house. Yeah, but did he do well? Of course, we don't know yet because we haven't had the trial. But do you know anything about the case? Do we know if at least that one is a real case? Because I don't know anything about that one. I showed part. It was part of one of his hearings because it was one of the like the law and crime things where they like cut back and forth into the hearing and they have their people talking about it and stuff like that. Because I couldn't find a clean feed of just the hearing itself. Oh, okay. So they did arrest him. Okay. I didn't know what was going on with that case because my head has been so far in the Karen Reed case that I've not had time to think of anything else. So, because I'm trying to keep up with um Shanna Gardner. Oh, I've forgotten the other one's name. The one in Miami, the OnlyFans model, Courtney Clenny. That one, Steven Stearns. Those three are the Florida ones that I've been looking toward. And then Brian Koberger, who has now taken a plea. Um, so I haven't kept up with these cases. Okay, I think wasn't the big thing in his case like they didn't have her body? Did they ever find her body? So like I don't know if it's because I'm not a lawyer and I don't know how the systems work and stuff, but I have no way to get prepared with any of this stuff. Um when I started streaming trials, it was Ashley Benefield and Sarah Boone, and those were very easy to find stuff on because they were Florida, and we have the Sunshine Law, and you could just go to the website and put in their name and all their documents. They haven't found her yet. Well, that's going to be hard. See, that would be hard for me because I would hate to be on a jury, and even if all the evidence was so good and there was no body, it would still be so hard for me to say, yes, he absolutely did it. Because what if he was like, I don't know anything about this case. I'm just as a hypothetical. What if there was no body and all the evidence looked like the guy did it, but you don't have a body, so you don't know for sure. Like, what if this person showed up out of the blue 10 years later and was like, ha ha ha, I faked my death? Like, it has happened. I'm just glad I'm not ever gonna be on a jury. I mean, that sounds unpatriotic, un I don't know what other word, not patriotic, but like not doing my civic duty or whatever. I can't sit still long enough. With my back the way it is and all. I mean, you guys see me, I'm up and down when I'm sitting here all day. I'm just up and down, up and down. But I mean, now the judges are all like, if you need to stand up and stretch. I didn't know that. Whose baby was it? Did she tell him it was his or did he just think it was his? Oh, I need to find out more about this case now. Well, when I was younger and I liked true crime, but I wasn't like the true crime junkie that I am now. Um, I got called for jury duty and I didn't care. I wasn't like those people that are like, oh my God, I got jury duty. I wasn't like that. I was just like, oh, whatever. I'll do it. Um, and my dad was a highway patrolman and he was a sergeant at the time, I think. Either a corporal or a sergeant. So he was the boss. And it was one of his troopers. It was a drunk driving charge. And not only was it one of his troopers, we used to live in Sarasota. And when we transferred up to North Florida, this trooper loved my dad so much that he transferred when my dad transferred so that he could work under my dad. He didn't want to work under a new supervisor. He wanted to still be one of my dad's troopers. So he moved from Sarasota to North Florida for the sole purpose of keeping my dad as his supervisor. This was a man who had been to our house for parties and meals. I'd played with his children. I mean, this man was like a brother to me. So I get called for jury duty, having no idea what the case is. Not to mention, the judge was my piano teacher's husband. It's true what they say about small towns, y'all. It is. So, my piano teacher's husband is a judge. The arresting officer is my dad's trooper. I know I knew the judge was who the judge was gonna be, but I didn't know what the case was till I get there. And it's a drunk driving case, and the man claimed he was not drunk. The reason he was driving erratically is because he had a steel plate in his head. So, of course, being the daughter of a highway patrolman, I know that is a crock of doo-doo. So, we pick our alternates in Florida. So I'm sitting there, I'm not getting called. And at this point, I'm like, thank God I'm not getting called. And then they go to call the alternates, and I get called. So, is there any reason why any of you can't serve on this jury? Boom, hand went up. I'm like, I can't be unbiased because I'm friends with the arresting officer and he works for my dad. Of course, if I hadn't said anything, I'm sure that the judge probably would have said something to one of the attorneys. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't said anything. I really don't know what would have happened. I'm sure somebody would have said, her dad's a cop. I don't know what would have happened, but I was like, there's no way. Absolutely no way I could have sat on that jury. So then I was excused, and then, of course, I didn't say anything about my dad. I just said I was personal friends with the arresting officer, that he had been to my home many times. He was like a brother to me, whatever. And there's no way that I could be unbiased. So then I go to the clerk of court to get my measly $10 paycheck or whatever it was. And she goes, say hi to your daddy for me. Like, okay, I will. And that was my one experience with jury duty. And then I got called 2 other times. And the first time I got called, it was my very last chemo treatment. And I was like, nope, I can't be there. I have chemo. And then I got one again the following year. And I was just like, no, I cannot sit for that long. I cannot pay attention for that long. I will be in pain if I sit in a jury box all day long like that. I can't do it. And so then I got a letter saying that I was exempt from jury duty due to medical reasons or whatever. So I don't ever get picked for jury duty anymore. So why did she do that? That was kind of stupid. Did she want it to be his? Why did you get booted? Did they tell you? Do they tell you why they boot you? I mean, I know why I got booted. I booted myself on purpose because, and then he was pallbearer at my dad's funeral too. I never see him anymore. I miss him. Every year? Why don't they want you on a jury? I wonder what would happen if one of us got called for a jury and we were like, we're true crime nerds. We watch trials on YouTube all the time. Oh, yeah. But really, like, I wonder, would they want us on the jury because we're used to watching trials and we understand what's going on? or if they would rather have people that have no experience at watching a trial and don't understand what's going on. I wonder which they'd rather have. But Alan Jackson said, I don't know. I don't know what kind of questions they ask, because I didn't even get that far. Because like I said, they picked us, they called the numbers, and then like the main jury went and sat, and then they called the alternates, and then they asked, is there anybody on the jury that does not feel they could, like the general, like, do you have plans, like childcare issue, that kind of stuff, like the general who can't sit on the jury for however long it was. And, so mine was, my friend was the arresting officer. There's no way I'm going to say that he did the wrong thing. So that's why. Oh, you asked too many questions? I ask questions all the time too. I've always been that way. And then I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm sorry. And then I feel like an idiot because then I'm apologizing all the time. But yeah, I ask questions. I ask way too many questions. I even do that. And I'm a nurse too. And I do that when any new medical thing comes up with me, because good Lord, there's always something new. And I ask a million questions, and they're like, "Oh no, you're fine." And then I'm constantly apologizing because I'm asking all these questions. But um, yeah, I now especially I would love to do it, but I would be in so much pain, the stress, the needing to pay attention, because you guys, especially when StreamYard starts acting up, and I turn the camera off. Sometimes I'll just stop paying attention and like play solitaire for like 10 or 15 minutes sometimes. I swear, I know I have ADHD. I have to have it because there's like, I can't even explain it. And I mean, if any of you have ADHD, I'm sure you know, but like, I get tired. Just concentrating on one thing will tire me out. I don't want to be on another pill. I really don't. And I have heard some bad things about Adderall. And I'm on so many other medicines that, like, if I get on something else, is it going to interfere with the other stuff I'm on? Like, I don't know what to do. And the more I learn about ADHD, the more positive I am that I have it. But sometimes I just have to stop and concentrate on something mindless for just like 5-10 minutes to rest, to like rest my brain. I don't know how to explain it. It's like my brain is on overdrive all the time. And to be, like I said earlier, about the cell phone stuff, I would probably understand it if I could pay attention long enough. But I get bored when they open their mouth, and then like my brain gets overwhelmed with boredness and I can't concentrate on it. And I don't know why. So, yeah, I think it would be interesting. I do. Um, but I don't know that I could pay attention to everything. Like, especially the experts. Especially um especially the experts that um that don't just answer yes or no, that have to go on and on and on. Well, that's what I'm hearing is that now they don't call it ADD, they call it inattentive ADHD, which is apparently what mine is, because the yeah, see, I modded during the Karen Reed trial, the first one, and I was constantly busy, constantly. Like, I'm over here in the chat, I'm watching the trial, I'm talking to friends, plus I'm doing modding, I'm putting stuff in the chat. I'm just constantly, constantly going, 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 going. But I missed stuff in the trial too. So like when I was doing this trial, you're still doing a lot, but you're kind of doing a little bit less when you're just live streaming it. So now I take notes, because if I don't take notes, then Lord knows where my head will be if I don't take notes. So I take notes now so I can concentrate. Because if I don't take notes, my mind will just go wherever it wants to. Woo, I'll be all over the place. So I don't know. I've never been on medicine for it. I don't know if I want to be on medicine for it. Oh, well, where'd it go? Yeah, yeah. Yep, 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 yep. I I have a cousin that has, or cousin-in-law that has ADHD, and she says that coffee makes her sleepy. And to be honest, coffee does not really. I say the things, how people are like, "Oh, I haven't had enough coffee yet." I say that, but really, coffee doesn't do anything. It doesn't perk me up. It doesn't, like, I could drink soda all day long and go right in there and go to sleep. It doesn't do anything. The caffeine doesn't. I could, I can, I've got like it's Herbalife energy tea. It's not like a Monster or a Red Bull or anything like that. But um it's like you buy it from Herbalife. It's a little thing. It's called NRG, but it's tea. It's energy tea, and it doesn't hype me up or anything. Like I can make it right before I go to bed, and I'll sleep like a baby. So I think that's one of the things that's ADHD in it. So no, don't trash it. Okay, I'll show you. Some of you have seen this. I don't know if you've seen it since I framed it. It's sitting here waiting to be mailed. It's got a glare on it. You can see the reflection of the computer, but I wish it didn't have a glare on it, though. You guys can see the reflection of the computer, but thank you. And this is Frodo Baggins. I have to fix his cloak because I didn't do it right. This is Gimli. He's the only one that's completely finished. This is Aragorn. I have to make his... He did have a head. His head was attached. His head fell off. I have to fix his head. And I haven't attached... Galadriel is done. I just have to attach her head. Oh, yeah. These are the flowers that Wiggles made for me. Aren't they beautiful? Look at the little buds on the roses. Oh, go back in there. Go back in there how I had you. Oh, I'll fix it later. And Judy got me a Golden Girls. I didn't break it. I don't have the foam in there. I just have tissue paper in there, so it doesn't go in easy enough. I need to get like the foam, you know, the flower arrangement foam. Oh, hang on. Judy got me a Golden Girls diamond painting kit. It's in the other room. And then Jill made me this. It's a Honeydukes candy jar that I was going to buy at the park and pay I don't know how much for. But she made me one. I love it. You guys are so good to me. I don't remember what it was. Something I was showing the girls, and the girls were here last week. And they're like, I want one. I was like, well, start yourself a YouTube channel. Get people to send you stuff. Thank you guys, though. You guys are amazing. I got a computer and a microphone, and I'm stupid. I just don't mind making an idiot of myself in front of, whole 9 people. I want there to be more people. I want more people. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've got to remember. See, Judy, we talked about this during the break, and I still forgot to put the hashtags in my title. I don't know what is wrong with me. I love the Golden Girls. I just watched the whole series again just recently. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I wish I could find the picture of my mom. My mom looked. Bye, Jill. My mom looked so much like Betty White that after she died, I couldn't watch Golden Girls anymore for the longest time because I would cry. Between like the way my mom looked like Betty White and then the relationship between Dorothy and aw, the the relationship with Dorothy and her mom, and then the way mom looked like Betty White, and Betty White reminded me of her. And even with the semi-abusive bad relationship I had with my mom, still I would watch Golden Girls and just cry a river. It was ridiculous. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I know. I know. And yes, I also know that you can't pay for patience. Last night I'm like, Lord, I know that I'm not supposed to pray for patience, and I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I was just thinking, he's up there going, "Yes, Deborah, continue with your prayer. Continue." What I am praying for is that your will happens in your timing. That is my prayer. That your will happens in your. No, Carrie. No, you never, ever, ever pray for patience. There is a verse in the Bible that says patience comes through trials. So when you pray for patience, you get trials. That's how you learn to be patient. God sends you trials. Don't ever pray for patience. Ever, ever. Ever, ever, ever. You'll get trials. Don't do it. No, 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 no. I learned that yeah, I think I was a teenager. Yeah, I was a teenager when I learned that. I have never prayed for patient a day since then. Ever. I get trials though. Good Lord, I've been through cancer twice. Yeah, I've gotten trials. But yep, the Bible says patience comes through trials. My pastor's wife told me that when I was a teenager. I learned that. Yep. Okay, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. We will do Phil Spector in the morning at 8 and this at 10. And I think we're going to be all done with this one tomorrow. Just, I wonder if they're, what do you think? You think they're going to come up with a verdict tomorrow? I wonder if, I still wonder. Like, I don't know about the Houston thing. Do you think they're going to think they did it together or that she did it by herself? Or that he did it by himself? I think they did it together. Absolutely. Yeah. Terry, we're tough. The two of us, we're tough. Can't kill us, that's for sure. We've been through a lot. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, be kind to people, love your family, and Jesus loves you, and so do I. Love you guys. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.